Yep. Okay, no, we're good. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, folks, we're about to begin the live stream portion of our evening. So if you could find your seats. And just in case you're wondering, as far as Ethiopian culture goes, Ethiopia beats to its own drum the rest of the world. Currently in Ethiopia, it's the year 2015. Is that true or is that false? That is true. That is true. Ethiopian culture has been greatly influenced by Scandinavian missionaries who arrived in the 19th century. In fact, this is where their famous coffee ceremony originated. True or false? False. False. In Ethiopia, when greeting someone who's familiar, this is the kiss one. True or false? Lots of guys that wish that was true, but it's false. You actually go on the side of the face multiple times. You never sure how many times, but you don't actually go on the lips. That tells us then, therefore, that in Ethiopia they tell the time differently, so you're always trying to make sure, okay, it's 6 o'clock, is it foreigner time or is it local time? And so they do their clock differently, and so when you're there, it's something to get used to for sure. And then also in Ethiopia, they have 12 months of 30 days, and then they have one with only 4 days, and they act five, sorry, I'm correct. 5, and so there is there's one with 5 days, and that is the 13th month of the year. So they have 13 months of sunshine in Ethiopia. Okay, so just so you know, I'm going to leave the stage here in a moment, and there's going to be a video that's going to start here in a few minutes, and that is the signal of us going live. And so, again, there's going to be people joining us from all over the place online. We're going to have the video, and then that's going to launch us into the live stream portion of the evening. So enjoy. ዳግም ከሚሄደው ከነፋስ ሽውታ ምክንያቱ አንተን ማመልክበት በቂ ነው መዳኔ ከበቂም በላይ ነው ማስረፌ ይህን በስልጣኑ ማድረግ ማንቻለበት አይደለም ወይ ያወጣኸኝ ከባርነት አይደለም ወይ የፈታኸኝ ከስራት ታዲያ እንዴት ነው መኖሩ ዳግም ተለይቶ ወጥቶ ከነፃነት ድሮዬን አልሻም ድሮዬን አልደግምም ያልመለስም እስር ቤት 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 ውሻ ወደ ትፋቱ እንዲመለስ አልገኝም ኋላዬን ስከልስ የያዝኩት መንገድ ገብቶኛል ልክ ነው ማን ያስተኛል ሕይወት ነው እውነት የሞላበት የሰላም ነው ቤቱ ያለሁበት እጠራለሁ እንጂ ሌላውን ያልገባውን ያላየውን እኔ አልመለስም እስር ቤት አልመለስም እስር ቤት አልመለስም እስር ቤት ያልመለስም እስር ቤት Inquan Denamatachu. Welcome to an evening for Korah. A big highlight this year was the graduation celebration of 30 families from HFK's Socioeconomic Empowerment Program. Charged by the atmosphere of joy and celebration, these women felt valued and genuinely proud of themselves and one another. After years of hard work and training, these women are now self-sufficient and engaged in small business or employment opportunities.
I remember when I first met many of you, your lives were very much different than they are today. So many of you, you're all making beautiful baskets and now you're out of power and you're providing for your children by your hard work. You have changed so much. I think one thing we can all say today is just thank God for where He has brought you. He has brought you out of where you were. We have much to celebrate.
Inquan Denamatachu. Welcome. My name is Mark Brandsma, and I will be your MC for this evening. On behalf of the Hope for Korah board, the staff both here in Canada as well as in Ethiopia, and on behalf of the people of Korah, we welcome you to this evening. Like last year, we are doing a hybrid event where we have 250 plus guests here in Abbotsford, BC, Canada. We have others watching in other parts of Canada, so we welcome you. We also have others from different parts of the United States. We also are glad that you're here with us. And I even understand that there are some watching live now on Sunday morning in Ethiopia. So, Inquan Denamatachu. Now, for those of you who don't speak Amharic like I do, I thought I should just give you a little bit of a lesson.
Mark? No.
What are you talking about? I speak Amharic.
You didn't even pronounce it right.
What do you, well, then you do it.
Inquan Denamatachu.
Oh, well, that's what I said, Inquan Denamatachu.
No. You cannot even pronounce the phrase right. Inquan Denamatachu. And Inquan Denamatachu. I'm going to do the teaching. So, this is a flower Addis flower. So Ababa, Addis Ababa means new flower. So that's a gesture for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Hosanna.
yeah. I think that's all.
So I will stick with English, if that's okay with you. I have been informed that that is not my thing. Okay, so I'm so glad that you're joining us. I mean, I've been able to address the group here, but I'm also so grateful that you're able to join us online here as well. And so we, for those that are you that are watching online, we just invite you to also let us know where you're watching from. And so whatever online way you're connecting, whether it's Facebook, any others, please send us a message and let us know where you're going to be watching from tonight, who you are, and also whose pronunciation you like of the words more, myself, or Hosanna. We want to hear from you out there. Tonight you're going to be watching a series of videos. You're going to have other people coming up and sharing stories about what's happening in Korah, and so we just hope that you're going to be able to just enter into life in some small way to what life is like there, and just really have your heart touched by the beautiful people that we get to connect with in that part of the world. This evening we are raising funds to set the organization up financially for another year of the holistic programming that Hope for Korah does. And has been doing now for over 11 years. So we're grateful for that. And so again, thank you for your interest, for your support. If you are inspired to give this evening, whether again you're in the room here or online, there are multiple ways that you can do that, including, of course, connecting to our website and giving by credit card online or mailing in a check. And so we invite you to do that as you are led. Now, as many of you know, or some of you know, that my wife and I and our 3 kids spent some time in Korah. Those years are passing by. That was back in 2014, 2015. And so this Korah is a very special place in our hearts. And so just want to give you a little bit of an understanding of where and what is Korah. Almost 100 years ago, it began as an outcast community for those living with leprosy, and has now grown into this community we call Korah. It's a disadvantaged and impoverished urban district with an estimated 130,000 people living there. It's situated adjacent to the city garbage dump in the capital city of Addis Ababa, and it is characterized by extreme levels of urban poverty, poor sanitation, surprisingly costly and precarious living conditions, lack of clean water and food scarcity all contribute to making this a very difficult place to live, not to mention the rising inflation that they are experiencing in Ethiopia these days as well. Korah is home to a diverse community, with many people having migrated from different areas of the Ethiopian countryside, either seeking medical treatment that they couldn't get in the countryside, or hoping that the city would offer more opportunity for employment, a better life, and so in reality many end up in Korah with little education. They can't afford the medical care that they may require, and they end up trapped, in a sense, in unsafe forms of work and survival just to make ends meet. That includes begging, prostitution, low-paying labor jobs, unreliable piecemeal work, and actually scavenging at the trash dump as well. And so it's a tough place. Why are we here tonight? We're here to help women that were featured on that video that you just watched a minute ago. We're here to partner and come alongside the families that live in Korah. These women, as you saw in that video a moment ago, they're just celebrating their graduation, and it's a huge contrast from what their lives were like before they entered the Hope for Korah program. Their lives are still hard, let's be honest, but it's a huge difference from where they came from. And so They come from a course where the community, where the conditions are harsh, and life has been very difficult for them. But they are resilient, and they have persevered, and we continue to walk alongside, and that video that you saw a few minutes ago was just an opportunity to celebrate their accomplishment in this way. During the graduation ceremony that we just watched, some of the women also had an opportunity to share what their lives were like before they joined the program and what HFK has meant to them. And so I just want to invite you to take a few minutes to watch a video as to what a few of them had to say.
I thank my Lord for giving us this day. I came to this program because I was in a very critical place in my life, but that has passed now. God sends his messengers to rescue a person. You all have been that messenger. I was provided with food, house rent, and I was even sent to school. This program has been like my mother's house in caring for me. Now I'm working, making an income, helping my family. Thank you. And I really thank God because I'm not begging and I'm not living on the streets anymore. It was in the garbage dump where my beautiful daughter was working when you found us. She was in 5th grade. You've given us all a chance and helped us to have a good life. I will never forget the first day I came to this program. I wish that other women would have the chance that we received at Hope for Korah. I thought I was gonna die. I was sick and not conscious for 3 days when you found me. So I encourage you to have faith in the Lord because he will never let you down. It is God who can make changes in our lives. I didn't have anyone. It is after I joined this program that I got a family. I was living in a plastic house. There was fire, and I came to this program seeking medical help. I have scars. My husband and my children, all of us, have scars from the fire that happened where we were living at the garbage dump. Now all my children are in school, and I'm weaving baskets to provide for my family. I used to live picking from the garbage dump. Thank you to all of you, for you have brought me out of the garbage dump. Thank you. God bless you.
We love you. You're so grateful to God.
You all look beautiful. I'm very happy to see all of you like this. God has given me a chance to see this day. Even if we pass through challenges, let's be strong and let's have some joy. It's mothers like you who make this nation.
In a previous trip to Korah, I had the privilege of being there when we met a few, for the very first time, a few of those women. In fact, Senayet was one of the last ones there. And I remember being at that home for the very first time when we took her into the program. And I remember very distinctly having just these feelings of, you know, on one hand hope, and on the other hand the sense of hopelessness, just because the conditions that she was living in were very difficult, and you could see there was multiple people in her family, including her mom and a disabled sister, as well as kids. And I just remember thinking, my goodness, how is she gonna get out of this? And so there was this challenge, I guess, in my spirit around hope and hopelessness. And so when I watched that video personally, it just puts a smile to my face, because again, not that Senayet and the other ladies don't have other difficulties in their lives, and there's tough days ahead, but the fact that there's community, the fact that there's people walking alongside them, that there's a sisterhood in some ways, is so great. And so we just again celebrate tonight those women that graduated from the program earlier this year. At this time, I would like to invite up Eve Pohl. And Eve is our founder. She's our executive director. And Eve is someone who works and prays tirelessly for the people of Korah. Her passion for this work is infectious, and we just infectious both here in North America as well as in Ethiopia. And so we just, as always, are very grateful for the work and the inspiration and the just the drive and heart that Eve has for the people of Korah. And so she has led us over the years, and we want to just hear from her for a few minutes right now.
Good evening. It's so wonderful to be with everyone here tonight, both online and here in person. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Many of you have been such a great support and an encouragement to all of us here in Canada, but especially to everyone in Ethiopia. Your compassion and your gifts, your prayers, they're truly transforming families and changing lives. It's been a good year. Many wonderful things have happened in our programs, and you're going to get to see some of that tonight. But we've also had a lot of hardship as we've entered into the lives of people who are struggling with poverty, illness, inflation, the civil war, fear. Several of our new women that we're looking for sponsors for, their husbands, they were married, they've gone off to fight in the war, and they've never returned. Among our families, this year we lost 2 precious children. That was very hard. But coming alongside these difficult situations, the trauma and the challenges, is why we're here tonight. And being here truly brings hope. You saw it in the opening ceremony, the graduation. What a different place all those families are in now. Life is still hard, but they continue to face challenges, yet they're better equipped. Most of them, they now have a source of income. Their children are being educated. They have community, and the future holds much promise. Over this year, we've also been working with a lot of families that are not graduated, and they are in what we call the growth and development phase. So they've been really working hard, getting a lot of different trainings, life skills, and a lot of literacy trainings. And it's been incredible to watch some of our women who just started our program 1 year ago. They could not write their name, and now they're reading and writing, some of them even paragraphs, and learning to add and subtract. These women, they're also becoming economically empowered. They're either working towards starting a business, and some have already started, just like Yezgeru. She has a small clothing stand. And Naima, here you see her selling French fries. While others, they're attending vocational training for future employment. They're becoming certified as housekeepers, nannies, bakers, seamstresses. And I love receiving these videos, but I can't help but wonder how they feel and what they're thinking when they're using irons, making beds, and cleaning showers. All new experiences for most of them. One of my favorite videos by far I received just 2 weeks ago. I had heard that Sizge was enrolled in a driving course, which I was really intrigued because we've never had one of our women learn to drive before. Now, she has a 10th grade education, which makes a huge difference because that opens up different opportunities for her. So when I received this video of her, I expected to see her driving a car in this, like, the crazy Addis Ababa traffic. What I didn't expect was that she would be driving a bus. I could not believe it. I am so proud of her. Like, I would never do this at Addis Ababa. It's traffic, like, it is wild. And here she is, driving a bus. Well, as anywhere in the world, each of one of our families is unique and different, and working with each one to find empowering solutions to their unique situations is often a huge challenge. It's not easy. But tonight, I would like to share with you one of those stories. Tangut and her husband Hailu, they were sponsored last fall after Evening for Korah. Together, they had 7 children. The youngest were newborn triplets. And yeah, they're precious. However, they had to separate their family because they weren't able to find a place that they could afford for such a large family, and also a lot of landlords won't rent to large families. So after several months of being sponsored, they decided to move to the outskirts of Korah where it was cheaper to live. But now they were too far to come to any of our Korah programs. So we wanted to explore with them other ways that we could come alongside and help them to be stronger and better able to provide for such a large family. And in the process, we discovered that Hailu had several years' experience working on a dairy farm. And this led to discussion about possibly buying a cow. But during those discussions, the family was hit with tragedy, and in April, we received a call from Hailu that one of the triplets he watched had passed away and had had a cough, had likely pneumonia. And of course, that was so hard, and we wanted to love that family, come alongside in any way that we could. So I'd like to close now by showing you this video, a glimpse of how we've come alongside Tangut, Hailu, and their children, and the impact that the love and support that many of you here have helped make happen.
If you could just tell us a little bit about your hopes and your dreams for your family this coming year.
I just want one thing, to have a life that I can provide for my children and that I can send them to school and I see them grow and become big. That's all I want. I would be very happy. There's nothing that would make me happy more than seeing myself providing for my wife or my family. It means a lot for me.
So how will buying a cow change his life as well as his family's life?
From what I have seen from other people, I hope that the milk and the income that we earn from the sales of the milk will help my family to get their food and even the milk.
What about this little guy? Is he excited about getting a cow? Is he gonna drink the milk?
Yeah, I think he's going to drink the whole milk.
Ellie was telling me that when they give the bedding for the first day, they were jumping on the bed. They don't even sleep in the night at usual time. So they were so excited about
So excited.
support. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Salam. How are you? Good to meet you. Hi, Lilitham. So nice. Tom Tulik and Konjo Betsep.
Then comes.
I go out because I have students to whom I give ride with my cart, and I go to bring them to school. Yes, he gets paid. በወር ስንት ነው የሚከፈልክ? 300 per month.
Okay, for per student.
Per student. ስንት ልጆች ነው? መሳስ ይዳርገላችሁ። There are few who pay 250. So did you give them discount or do you put them underneath? After he cleaned the house for the cow and give the cow the food, and that's lunchtime. They have lunch together, and that's their coffee time. After he brought the students to their home, and by the time he come back home, Tanguts would be milking the cow. While she's milking the cow, then he prepare food and he give the cow food. After I'm done milking the cow, then I start making breakfast for the children who are going to school. And then because he goes to pick the students, then I go and check on the cow, and then I clean. After that, it's time to milk the cow again. And then I measure the milk, and then I put it in the proper container, and then it's either Maqdas or Tigist. Like one of them deliver the milk in the morning, and then the other does that in the evening.
So the cow gets milked twice a day? Or
Yes.
Yeah, twice.
In the morning they took 8 liter, and in the evening they took only 5 liter of milk.
They received the first payment from the sale of the milk for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, they sold 162 liters of milk. Each liter is sold for 40 birr, 6,480 birr. 2 liters of milk is always consumed in the house every day. Yeah.
አስበን ማናውቀው ነው እኛ ይሄን እንግዲህ የማይታሰብ ነው እና በጣም ነው የምናመሰግነው ነው።
We are so grateful. We didn't even imagine we could have this kind of business, this kind of life. So we are so thankful. We believe that our strength is our commitment will determine our success. So we are ready to do those things. So we are grateful. My tears are not the tears of sadness, it's the happiness that even my family didn't do anything like this for me. My tears are coming from joy. I wish you a long life for for my sponsor.
Well, April Houston, we wish that for you too. Oh.
Eve, thank you for your words, and quite the dairy operation, hey? Pretty cool, pretty cool. I loved it. Tangut and her family, of course, you got a lot of kids, and there's a lot of mouths to feed. There's going to be struggles, but again, with the sponsorship program through Hope for Korah, the fabulous staff, you would have seen some of them in the video there. We'll feature them in a little bit as well. But just very encouraging to see where people who care come alongside. There's a little extra resources to really help kickstart whatever they're going to try to do, and that's a great example of that. So thank you for putting that video together and for us to be able to see that. So I have a few direct messages that I want to share with you, and we have Trisha, might get this name wrong, Trisha Izaguirre, joining from New York. Trisha, welcome. We also have Sosna Shifara joining us from Ethiopia. Sosna is our dear country director in Ethiopia. And what does she say there? She says that Mark's pronunciation is amazing. Keep up the good work in your Amharic. Yeah, okay, that's it. Thank you, Sosi. And we also have Leanne Jager from Surrey, BC. So also great to have you join us tonight. And we, Jalen, watching from Dordt College in Iowa, USA, welcome. And one more, Emily and Berhanu Mekinen, watching from Oregon, USA. So welcome to you as well. So thank you for sharing that. I also want to do something. We have this tradition with this event, and we're going to continue with that tradition tonight. Last year we had the joy of doing this tradition, an element of it online as well as here in the room, and that is this concept of the wheel of cheese. And so every year, and for those that have been involved before, we have this wheel of, oh, there it is right there. Okay, this wheel of Gouda cheese, and I don't know what it's worth. It's probably worth $150 or something like that. And we are going to auction that tonight, and we're going to be doing that online. And every year, it's just a symbol of generosity that represents our donors, represents you. And so tonight we are going to here she is. Thank you. Okay, so this is what is going to be auctioning off here. And so what you're going to do is there's going to be a number that's going to show up on the screen here in a minute. And that is, there it is. Okay, and so if you want to be bidding on that, I invite you to start. My lovely wife is going to make the first bid of $500. And so you're going to text that number. And you're going to give your name. Your name isn't going to necessarily go up on the screen. It's not going to be known to anybody, but we're going to keep track of the bids, and the bids are going to show up on the screen throughout the evening for the next little while. And so you'll see where the bids are going, or what you need to be able to outbid in order to get this lovely chunk of cheese. Okay, so away we go on that. It's heavy. At Hope for Korah, as you've seen, we have a vision that is to break the cycle of poverty. We do this with a holistic approach, coming alongside families, and so you've seen that in the video so far tonight. But we also look for ways in which we can help and assist the entire community of Korah, the greater community of Korah. And so 2022 was a very special year. It provided us a great opportunity to do just that. And my friend Dave Pohl is going to come up and share for a few minutes about what opportunity has come up and what we're involved in.
Hey, before I start, some of you might appreciate a background on who we are drilling a well for and why. So over time, Abuna Basilio School has become a very special place for Hope for Korah, as many of our children attend there. And it's located next to the Cochet trash dump. So the students are from some of the poorest and neediest families in the area. There's 5,000 students, K through 8, if you can imagine. And there's next year there's a plan to put a high school on that property. So they need water, and they need lots of water. But they have not had running water there for years. For almost 2 years now, we've been trucking in 100,000 liters of water each week. And this has only been a temporary solution. And a well would give the school a sustainable water source. Now the school leaders are pretty savvy. They've been very active addressing the water issue. So far they've built a 100,000 liter reservoir. They installed hand washing and drinking stations through grants, but the reservoir has never been filled and the stations are not being used yet. They need a well, and that's where we come in. So in June, I was on site with Jake and a water engineer who used a specialized water detection technology to look at the best location to drill. In our first test location, we decided to do it right next to the reservoir. So after 2 hours of pulsing energy through a wire and into metal rods in the ground, we were able to see an image of what lay beneath our feet. And I could tell by the look on the engineer's face that the results were very good. The royal blue color on the video of the handheld phone, you'll see that in a sec, it indicates a very high concentration of water all the way down to 200 meters with no obstructions from rocks. So the team marked the spot, you'll see in a minute, with a stake. But the engineer recorded the GPS coordinates, so we know where we're going to drill. And as a due diligence step, we then took the equipment to the far opposite end of the campus where there is an old well, and we repeated the process. And along the way, the wonderful children entertaining us, those are the KG students, all 1,000 of them. They're out doing exercises. But after the second test was completed at that old well, we knew why it was not performing and would never perform. The water was limited and it was filled with rocks all the way down. So it was decided the well will be drilled next to the reservoir. And since June, the approval process has been completed, and that was no small task. So kudos to Jacob and Sosna in Ethiopia for pulling this off. Now the team is reviewing proposals from 6 different drilling companies, and next up is we drill. So check out our Instagram and Facebook pages in November for updates on the drilling progress. The well will have a huge impact, no doubt, on the students as well as the staff, but also the community. We have plans to put water stations on the outside of the school wall, and that will allow the families that live in that local area to access the water. And that'll be during specific time periods. It's been done before, and we're going to copy what's been done before by other charities. So one final note. This project was fully funded almost before it began. You can imagine the reaction when we told the school about that. So thank you from Buna Basilios and from all of us at Hope for Korah to all of you who are helping to move this well from a dream to a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, it looks like our top bid on the cheese. We're gaining some steam there, 1,500. Keep it up. Thank you, whoever has been bidding to this point. Honey, is that us? We got to get going on that. Okay? Now, I might have said this last year. I might have said this every year. I know it for sure I said it last year. But I'm going to say it again tonight. That our staff on the ground in Ethiopia is second to none, is amazing. When Tammy and I were in Addis Ababa 8 months ago this year, we were able to witness this firsthand once again, and just meet some of the, see some of the staff that we know over the years, but also meet some new staff, and just the quality of character, the hard work, the just the servant-heartedness that we have in our senior staff these days out in Ethiopia is just amazing. And they also are collaborating constantly with our staff here in Canada, and so it is just a joy to see that collaboration and the work that is happening in a way that quite frankly doesn't require us to be going there all the time to make sure that things are going okay, because they are going so well already. And so that is just a real blessing that we have leadership in Ethiopia like Sosna, like Jake, like Dawit, like others. And there's a few that we're going to hear from right now. And so listen up, and again, be blessed by just hearing from the quality staff that we have these days in Ethiopia.
I am so happy to be joining you all for this special evening. All of the incredible people you saw singing make this work possible. They are truly committed to bringing hope and a future to those living in Korah. We want to thank you all for joining this work and for supporting Hope for Korah over the years. As you all have seen through Tangut's story, Hope for Korah is committed to coming alongside and empowering the most vulnerable families living in Korah. We have accomplished so much this year. We have outgrown our daycare and recently moved to a much larger space that will allow us to provide quality child care for mothers who are fully engaged in our empowerment program. Also greatly improved the quality of care we offer for our dear elders. Thanks to the contribution of many, we have purchased essential items like bed, mattress, and bedding that's improved the quality of life that we provide. This year, in June, we had a wonderful celebration for the opening of our new elders' home for those living with leprosy. We moved our elders into a beautiful compound that is much larger and has allowed us to expand our program to include 22 additional elders who lived in the community. Most of these men and women have also suffered from the impacts of leprosy, but they can now come to our elders' home to visit and take part in special dinners and activities. Our elders are so thankful as they never forget the horrible conditions they used to live in. They feel so blessed, and we are all so grateful that they now have a home where they can live with hope and dignity. I would like you to hear more stories from some of our staff as they share more exciting stories of development.
Hello everyone, my name is Jake and I'm the Deputy Country Director here at Hope for Korah. As you can see behind me, I'm surrounded by incredibly beautiful baskets. Each of these baskets tell a story. The women who make these incredible products are mostly single mothers. Their resilience and determination to provide for their children can be seen in the detail and the beauty of what they make. This year's been incredibly rewarding and we've seen tremendous success in our socioeconomic empowerment program. Our independent artists and basket weavers continue to refine their skills and reap the reward of their hard work. We currently have 20 basket weavers participating in a cooperative. 15 of these women have successfully graduated Hope for Korah's socioeconomic empowerment program and are now completely self-sustainable. This year, these women have been afforded the opportunity to sell their products at international bazaars throughout Addis Ababa, and countless customers have placed orders. One of the greatest joys we experienced was a surprise visit by the Moroccan ambassador herself, which led to a large order and us outfitting the Moroccan embassy with custom baskets, which are prominently displayed throughout the embassy. It has been a privilege to see these women's lives being transformed. Their success is rooted in each individual's determination to provide for their families, paving a way for a brighter and more hopeful future.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dawid, and I'm the Education and Youth Empowerment Program Officer here at Hope of Korah. I am here at our Berta compound, which is where all the fun happens. After school and on the weekend, this place is full of children. This compound is everything for the children in this community. It is a place where they learn, play, have fun, and feel loved. They really enjoy coming here because almost all our children live in a small mud house. They have no place to play or study, so it is a relief for them to be here. This year we achieved a lot of amazing things that have greatly influenced the life of the children in many positive ways. Investing in education is our main focus. We send most of our children to private school where they can receive a quality education. Last year we had 46 private school students. This year, due to your support and kind heart, the number is doubled. In total, we have 92 students in private school. Thank you for your support and help. The other major accomplishment of our team took place this past summer during life skill training. The last 2 months, children were receiving training that will help them to grow, learn and develop their personal life and strengthen their potential. Through the training, children were able to explore their gift and ability in nurturing environment. Children were equipped to build healthy relationship with God, themselves and others. Mentorship is one of our big strategies to nurture teenagers. Most of our families are single moms, children grown up without fathers. They don't have a possible male influence. So we selected adults from the community who have an exemplary life and who are able to nurture and guide the children. We trained the mentors and facilitated the building of relationship between mentors and mentees. Thank you for everything you have done to make this happen. Keep supporting, investing in children's bright future. God bless you all. Ciao.
Hello everyone, my name is Jamsel. I am the Socio-Economic Empowerment Officer here at Hope for Korah, Ethiopia. Over the last 6 weeks, our Socio-Economic Empowerment team was tasked with selecting new families to be entered into our program. We visited countless homes and listened as mostly single mothers shared their stories. As social workers, we desire to see people be transformed from a place of deep-rooted struggle and sadness to a place of hope and stability. I found the most motivated people are single mothers who wanted to provide the most they possibly can for their children. At Hope for Korah, we have been called to come alongside of those living in extreme poverty and to offer hope and a future. We are dedicated to keep the families together and helping them recognize their fullest God-given potential. We will soon enter 25 new families into our program, and you can be a crucial part of helping to break the cycle of poverty by sponsoring a families in need. It is a short-time investment that can positively change an entire family for a lifetime.
As you have seen, we have accomplished so much this year with the combined effort of this team here on the ground and all of your support from Canada, from the United States, of our Korah board, of our Korah team, every one of you. We really would like to say thank you for all the support we received, and we are really grateful and looking forward. We are very happy for the future because the best is yet to come, and we are grateful. Thank you. Let's keep working together for hope. Ciao!
There might have been a few of you that didn't believe me when I said that we have a great staff in Ethiopia, but now I'm sure that you are a believer. They are awesome. And I also just wanted to make sure that I mentioned too that we have, I did mention this in passing, but I'm going to actually say their names. We have a great staff here in Abbotsford as well. And Hosanna, you've seen her up here. Carissa, Jackie, Mel, Eleanor, of course Eve. That is our staff here in Canada, and they are equally as fabulous as our staff out in Ethiopia. So again, it's just such a collaboration, such teamwork that happens between the two countries, and so we're very grateful for that. I also recognize that I failed to disclose an important detail when it comes to the bidding on the cheese. And what I forgot to do, for those of you who are watching online from the US, I just want to make sure that you know that we're taking your dollar at par tonight. And so if you can, 4,000 Canadian is your dollar's the same. So I really encourage you to get out and bid on this as well, and outbid your friends to the north on this wheel of cheese. And believe me, we will ship her out to you if you bid. Now, we are going to take a short break. Okay, it's going to give you just a few minutes to stretch wherever you may be, but as we do that, you're also going to see. Many of you are very familiar with our Berta program, and there's just going to be a short video as you stretch and just chat. Take a moment to relax, to watch that video and just see the hive of activity that is happening this summer, that was happening this summer, continues to happen each day in Korah with the Berta breakfast feeding program. Okay, welcome back. I did say it was going to be a short intermission, and so I invite you to find your seats if you're here, and or wherever you are, and we're going to continue. Want to also let you know that the Wheel of Cheese is going to, the bidding is going to close in 10 minutes, and so we currently have a, I think I saw almost $5,000 for that, and so that is a great, that's a great bid. You got 10 more minutes to up that and to get that well above 5,000. Many of our children and families' lives are impacted through medical support. And one example is someone who is near and dear to my heart. And I just want to share that we have a connection with a young man named Alayu. And in a moment you're going to see a little video about his life. This young man is someone who basically exemplifies the resilience and determination that the people in Korah have. And so he's faced insurmountable challenges and trauma throughout his life, and I'd like you to meet him.
All right, so like, tell me about like your childhood.
My mother passed away when I was 6 years old, and I grew up with my grandmother from my mother's side. My father is still alive, but he has never contacted me. I don't know much about him, and he has never supported me. When I was 12 years old, I came to Addis and I started living with a relative.
Alay, I remember shortly after that accident. So what happened? What happened?
I remember the day that I had this accident. I was tired that day. I was not feeling active. I didn't hear when people tried to call me. So this excavator, when it was collecting the garbage, then it got my leg. And I don't remember anything after that moment.
እንዳልወደው እኔን መከልከላቸው መፈታት ነገር እኔ ኖሬ ከዚህ ወጥቼ ለሌሎች ሰዎች ማስተማር አለብኝ። እኔማ መሞት የለብኝም አለና
When I look back, I feel very happy because I succeeded with all my plan that I had. I used my mind, I used all the resources, and I used my time. I didn't waste anything. And I made people around me to be proud of me. So I am happy. When I look back, there is nothing that I regret, and I'm very proud. God is the source of my strength, all the energy that I have in my life. And before I was in this accident, I didn't know many things. I didn't know about God. I didn't know many things about myself, or I didn't care that much about other people. When they get hurt, I didn't pay attention for all that. But after I was in this accident, then I started to think about things, about the many people who supported me. That there were many people, including like people in Hope for Korah and even outside. My life had so many good people's contribution. So I think about like making them to be proud of me, making them to be proud of what they did. So that is another source of the strength in my life. I want to say thank you for those people who've been supporting me for many years, who've been there right by my side when I passed through all those struggles. And I may not mention each one of you by name, but mention Tammy, of course, James, all of you. Thank you so much, and God bless you. God bless you for all what you have done for me.
I just have a little message for Eliu. Eliu, when you watch this, I just want you to know how proud we are of you. You're an incredible young man. And you taught each one of us something tonight by sharing your story so bravely about resilience and about trusting in God when things are hard, and about being grateful. So thank you for the model that you are in our lives and for giving us just a bit of an insight tonight into your journey. Back in February, Mark and I were in Ethiopia, and I had the opportunity to sit on Eliu's bed. He was in the hospital at the time. He was sick. We prayed together, and this is just not what I'm here to talk about, but we prayed together, prayed that he would recover, prayed that the doctors would have wisdom. He was in for several weeks, and I told him that next time I went to Ethiopia, I really wanted a Bajaj ride. So Eliu, you owe me that Bajaj ride this next February, okay? I'm going to summarize the health services for you. That's what I'm here. But I want to bring you in on the context very briefly. You've got lots of context. You hear that Hope for Korah is about bringing dignity. It's about helping people achieve independence. And so the health services, which are an arm of the programming the empowerment program that Hope for Korah offers, is equally about that. We want to see these families restored to the dignity that God gives them just by virtue of their being, and we want to see them optimized for health and independence and all the things that we enjoy here every day. And a big part of that, of course, is health, because we know that when we are sick, we can't work, right? We know that when we don't feel well, when we don't eat enough, we can't learn. And so the same, of course, is true for people in Ethiopia, and through no fault of their own, they haven't been able to provide that for themselves. And so this is where the Hope for Korah programming steps in and really tries to bring stability into their lives such that they can benefit from the programs that we're offering. So just a bit of a summary so that you know when you're supporting the Hope for Korah health services, who are you supporting? You would have seen them pictured in that video there, the nurses that we have, but we have 3 fantastic Ethiopian nurses, Jerry and Hiwat and Marta. Thank you so much for your work, ladies. They collaborate in managing the care of our families. You'll see them pictured behind me, I think, here. So the goal of our health families is always, of our health services, is always equipping families for life beyond graduation from our program. Okay, so with that lens in mind, sustainability, we're looking at education and illness cares that restores them to a level of functioning so they can maximize on those educational opportunities. So what do these health services look like? Well, tonight you've heard about sponsorship, right? You've seen the difference that it can make. You've heard there's 25 new families that are available for sponsorship tonight, and they are out at a table in the back if you want to be a part of this journey with a family. But the journey with our health services team begins on admission into our program. So they do an intake evaluation to see, which would be much like you going to see a family doctor for the first time, right? So this health assessment, what's going on in your life? What kind of supports do you need? So for some of them, they're living with chronic disease, but they don't know it. They've had some illness, they haven't felt great, so maybe there's some diagnostics that need to be ordered. Maybe there's some medicine that they need to take. Maybe there's some clear gaps in their understanding and knowledge. Maybe they have too many mouths to feed. They need some education around family planning. So at that intake assessment, we converse with them, or our staff converse with them and identify those areas of need to try to bring alongside some stability. So if it's acute illness, medicine, diagnostics, treatment. If it's chronic illness, it's let's bring that chronic illness into a stable level where they're optimized. If they can't see, they can't hear, they can't walk because they need a prosthetic limb or something like that, it's funding them to get those appointments, those services, those pieces of equipment so they can go on to meaningful work. Again, it's about restoring dignity, right? And the capacity for people to be independent like you and I are and provide for themselves and their families. And so that's what it's about. It's about for children, the importance of proper nutrition for our children can't be underscored, right? So children, especially under the age of 5, have a propensity towards poor brain development if they're not properly fed, which impacts them for life. So we focus on malnutrition screening for all our children, but especially for the children under 5, and we supplement that if it's deemed they're malnourished. We also, unfortunately, have an issue with intestinal worms in Korah for lots of different reasons. And so everybody deals with that, and as such, there's annual deworming that's done for all the children because of the impact that intestinal worms have on children's growth and development. And so we pay for that. That's another thing that we do to support optimal health. So overall, the health team seeks to equip our families for life beyond graduation, preventing illness and teaching them when, where, how, and why to access various levels of health. But coming back to Eliu, he came into our program and he received his first of multiple prosthetic legs. Remember, he was a little guy when he got the first one. That's not going to last him as he grows. First of multiple. He's received nutritional support and illness care along the way. Recently, as I said, he was hospitalized for several weeks with a severe illness, and our staff coordinated its hospital care and helped transition him back home, ensuring our staff did their best to support bringing him back to full independence, where you see him now at the end of that video, working, earning an income, participating in dignified, meaningful living. This is what our program is about. This is what we are about. And this is what we are asking you to participate with us in supporting when we ask you to give tonight and to sponsor families. Thank you.
What I love about Hope for Korah is they aren't just trimming poverty, they're pulling it up by the roots. They understand that poverty isn't this little one-dimensional financial problem. They address the family dynamics, education, nutrition, skills, opportunity gap, and most importantly, the spiritual dynamic that keeps people from reaching their created in the image of God potential. I also appreciate how they don't focus on the easy cases. They choose the families and individuals that need a miracle. And it's so cool because it means in the end, God gets the glory. So if you want to be a part of that, I would consider joining what God is doing in Korah, Ethiopia.
Thank you, Bob. It's amazing to have partnerships from churches and people from all over, quite a few different places in the States as well as here in Canada, and it's just amazing, and we're just so thankful for each one of you. As Shemsel already mentioned earlier, and Tammy also mentioned, that our Ethiopian staff have just assessed 24 new families to add to our economic empowerment program. And each one comes from a place of desperation and hopelessness. Frewat became homeless at 10 years old, living among other street children. She now has 2 children of her own and a strong desire to change her life for the better. At night, Mulanesh, she sleeps on a makeshift bed with bricks covered with cardboard, and her days are spent struggling to feed her 2 young children, her daughters. Mizrak was abandoned by her husband after birth of their special needs son. She's barely able to feed him. She frequently skips meals to ensure that her son eats. Most of our new families have either been abandoned or in abusive situations and are now raising children on their own. At least 4 of these women grew up as orphans, without families, and some are very young first-time mothers. I was especially touched when Hawa's photo crossed my desk last week. She's widowed, has 3 children. Her second husband left them. Hawa lives near the garbage dump in a small hut next to a latrine, which sometimes overflows into their home during the rainy season. Her oldest son has special needs. And when I saw his picture and hers, I recognized him. I remembered him so well. Malaya, who's here tonight, Mark and Tammy's daughter, Malaya and I visited Hawa's house and met her son back in 2015. And I remember then just being so choked and disheartened, and just could see the struggle this woman had in raising this little boy. And he's now 15. And it brought tears to my eyes last week to see her and to think that all these years I've been living here and going on my life, she's been at that dump with that little boy, and he's now 15. But I'm so excited because things are about to change for her, and she's not going to have to stay there. When you look at all these new women, you can see the struggle and the angst on their faces. I just received these photos. Let's see, they up of the different groups of the families. They came to our compound last week, the new families. We invited them to come to our compound because they're not sponsored yet. We wanted them to still feel hopeful, so
We gave them teff, which is like a main staple in Ethiopia, and we gave them oil because cooking oil is very expensive. And so we just wanted to give them some hope, and we spent some time talking to them, encouraging them. And when you just look at their faces, they are so different from the faces of our women who you've seen earlier on tonight. And that's the difference that hope makes. And if you would like to be a part of that, to come alongside a family and to help change the trajectory of their life and the direction they are going, please consider sponsorship. You can check out our website at any time, and tonight there's on the website, it's hopeforkorah.org/sponsorship, or if you're here, we have a sponsorship table. And it's actually so exciting when actually I see those hard faces, how sad and how heavy their life is, but these women have no idea what's in store for them and how different their life is going to be next time we meet together next year. In 1 year, it is going to be very different from today. So, thank you.
Okay, as we wrap up here, I want to just invite our Canadian staff as well as our Canadian board members that are here. I am to join us on the stage. I'm also going to announce that the winning bid for the cheese, that is an interesting number. $5,777 for this wheel of cheese. Thank you for whoever made that bid. What's that? What's that? Oh, yeah, okay. Guess what? Good news. There's a second one of these babies. And so whoever you are, second place on the bidding for cheese, you're going to get an opportunity to also contribute for a second wheel of cheese. And so we'll be in touch with you shortly. You know who you are. But thank you again for all your support and for all the bidding that happened for the wheel of cheeses. You're praying.
We're just going to take a moment to close and pray for Korah. Dear God, I just thank you for all the beautiful families and the stories that we heard tonight. And they're just, each one of them has such a journey they've been on and such a journey ahead of them. And we just pray that you would be with them, give them strength, continue to change their lives, continue to help them be successful in what they're doing. And I just pray for the new families. I pray for the community of Korah, for the well, for the things that are happening, that you would continue to make beautiful changes. You bring beauty out of ashes, and we are just so grateful and thankful for that. And I just want to thank you, God, for every person that came and joined us tonight as well. We lift this all up in your name. Amen. All right.
So for those of you watching online, we thank you for joining us, and we are going to bid you farewell. Good night.
Ciao. Ciao. See you. Ciao. Spread. Ciao.
Okay, it's just us again. Now, we are going to be transitioning here to a live auction here shortly. Now, I hesitate to say the word break after the last episode. And so we are going to take a 10-minute break. Okay, 10 minutes. Put your clock to it. Then I want you back in your seats. So we are going to close the silent auction actually in 10 minutes. And so if you have any more bids that you want to get, if you want to do a little bit of shopping at the Ethiopian market, again, these trees, these plants, your neighbor's watch, all those things are for sale. And so just be thinking about what else, other things you might want to purchase tonight. Let's take 10 minutes, get back here to start the live auction. We have maybe about 30, 40 more minutes left this evening. And so there's some good fun yet to be had. But we'll see you in now 9 minutes and 30 seconds.